All right, so today's video, we are here with a new series that we're going to be trying. Actually, was suggested by someone in the YouTube chat, and they were like, basically like, hey, as a quick play warrior, it'd be cool to see a series. Now, what I mean by that is we're going to do a series here where we have someone who has a majority of quick play hours. The idea here is I'm going to watch their quick play game. I'm going to guess kind of where their rank's at, give some feedback, of course, like we do in normal spectators. Watch a competitive game of theirs in their placements. Then guess where their rank's at, get an idea, and then give some feedback and all that. I guess the idea is like a good way to introduce maybe quick play players to comp if they would like. I know sometimes players go into drives. There's a lot of really good players in quick play who just don't play ranked, whether that's because of time, because they just don't want to play ranked. So it's really fun to kind of watch that, get an idea. Keep in mind, this series will also iterate over time. So if this one's a little bit more scuffed at first, we plan on kind of cleaning it up over time, but I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what's going on with it. First of all, we're going to be starting off here with a support player. So you're going to be seeing Lifeweaver in this game. Now, I have a whole description here, so I'll read it. They say, hi, longtime YouTube viewer of yours here. Besides kitty pics, I really submit anything to your Discord due to several restrictions, but now you have added a category just for me. I have 3,342 hours in game with 2,136 hours in quick play and 94 hours in comp. Also, this should give you an idea of like the ratio we're looking for. I have been playing Overwatch since 2018, and while I've dabbled in comp, I find quick play to fit my lifestyle better. In the beginning, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I couldn't commit to competitive games as they sometimes lasted over 30 minutes, and I often had to drop what I was doing for a toddler. Totally understandable. I've heard that a lot with quick play. Actually, that was some of the concern people had initially when they put those like really intense quick play restrictions on, because like sometimes you just like have those things going. We're like, oh, like it's nap time, and then you know what? Nap time's only 10 minutes today, but that wasn't expected, so totally understandable. As the kids got older, I decided to dabble in comp, but found the majority of games swung between insulting my gender or being hit on. First of all, sorry to hear that. Never should be a thing. And you said I did turn voice off, but eventually found the games caused me more anxiety than it was worth. Which, by the way, for anybody here saying like if you have to turn voice off, do what's gonna be best for you. Obviously, you'll hear even sometimes be like, I'll talk about like comms and all that, but like again, do what is best for you. These days, I stick to quick play except during drives because I love getting cosmetics. My favorite games are when it's all quick play warriors, or there's a new player on my team and I challenge myself to keep them alive. Yes, my aim is bad and is now somewhat worse due to the changes on console aim. If you have tips, I'd appreciate it. All right, so for the first step of this, I'm going to guess the rank. I'm going to watch the quick play game. I'll give feedback as we go because, like, you know what? People have asked me, would you take quick play for feedback? Well, here we are. So here we go. Okay, that's a pedal. I want to point out to you, since like I'm going to be giving feedback on this one too, that type of pedal is like a very easy way to get your pedal killed. If you look at this part of the map, right here would be a better spot. So that way, like a player like your Torb could hit the pedal right here and use the momentum off the pedal to go up to here. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen that way, but just remember to have better pedal placement. It can help. All right, still watching this. Now, your plan's going to be able to save the Torb. That was the correct play. I don't think your Torb had the best position to begin with, so that was a good save. Yep. So far, your positioning is pretty correct. That's the good news for you here. That pedal's fine. Actually, that pedal can be kind of an interesting one, too, because, like, there's something you can do here that's really cool. You can kind of block a doorway with your pedal. So sometimes what you can do is put your pedal in, like, a doorway like that, and, like, at the very least, you get some information. It's a good pedal for your teammates if they need to go up into the air, kind of like the Sigma, but it's also in a spot where the other team kind of has to shoot it to be able to get through the doorway or kind of make a play. You can kind of make these really cool, like, almost information tools and then have your pedal up again anyway, because the pedal cooldown starts the moment you put it down on the ground. Anyway, it's a cool little concept you can do there with Lifeweaver. Yeah, but yeah, it's something I've given feedback on before with Lifeweaver is definitely always like have a pedal down if you can, because with that type of tool set and the way the pedal works now with like activation timers, etc. If you look at the arrow there, the arrow is how much time is left in that pedal if somebody's on it. They made a lot of really good improvements to it it's weird to say this, but over the years. How long has Lifeweaver been out for 2 years yet? Because if so, that's crazy. Holy crap, we're close to it. But overall, your team's position never really resets, so welcome to quick play sometimes. I mean, that happens in rank too, you know, not solid positioning. But so far, I think yours has been pretty good, actually. That's been the good news here. Like what you want to do in this situation is basically try to get out of the high ground here, but they're denying that space. So you're doing a good job of basically recognizing that. Good pull to save your Juno. That was very interesting positioning by your Juno, but it worked out. The moment you hear that Brig ult, be careful of running at the Brig. Thankfully, the Brig saved you, but if you do that, like, kind of normally in a lot of situations, that Brig could bash you and kill you there, or at least force out your ultimate if you get it in time. So just be careful of kind of doing that in general, but not too bad. There's your pedal available. For anybody who doesn't know, if you kind of activate your jump as it's going up, you can use the momentum and it launches you up more. That's how, like, if you ever watch me get to a spot with a Lifeweaver pedal that looks a little bit inaccessible, that's why. Position is solid. Don't be afraid to, like, throw a pedal or pull them. Yep, you're good. Nice pull. Safe play. If you're one of the where you want to use your tree here, I don't think you would want to use it now. I think saving it is the correct play. So there's an interesting strat here that you could do that could win a team fight, but it's up to you. There's very small chokes here, right? So there's a world where technically you could use your tree aggressively to block them off when they go through a doorway to split their team and then get a free team fight win. Let's say you put the tree like right here, right now. What would happen is they would have to be forced to go all the way up here and around, and then you have 2 people isolated for a free team fight win. So don't be afraid to, like, just throw a tree like right here when they all go through a doorway or funnel. You know, just giving you an idea of an aggressive Lifeweaver ult. A lot of time it's used defensively, but I have seen it used a little bit aggressively like that before. Kind of block off a doorway. So, thankfully your teammates get the kill anyway, so you wouldn't have needed that, but it's just an option there if you want it. All right, cool. Try to maintain the high ground again. Just go up to the stairs behind you. Okay, this works too. I mean, as long as you're okay. Something you're going to want to do with Lifeweaver here is put yourself in a spot that's on the low ground. Regardless of the rank, I think Lifeweaver is one of the heroes that if you can get better positioning quick, you can save your teammates from bad positioning. So, what I mean by that is, even say you're in bronze, for example, which actually so far I don't think you're actually in bronze, from what I've seen. But the point I'm making is that, like, you can actually save your teammates and put them in good positions. You could also go the opposite way where you completely ruin a play, but that probably happens far in between, right? Save your ult. I'm sorry, did I just see that correctly? Did the Vendetta pop the ultimate and die to Torvald? What happened? Okay. That's a safe tree. I'm not even mad with this. Just to give Chad a reason as to why I think that's a safe tree. When you lose a teammate, and obviously it's Quickplay, so like someone left, obviously, things like that. This is why Quickplay can be a little bit different with stuff. But in general here, like, if their team gets a pick, and you just like use your ultimate to kind of like almost trade the pick, that's totally fine. Because now they kind of have to deal with like your survivability. If they push into you, you might get free kills. So I'm okay with this as like a reaction to what's going on there, right? You lose your Tor, but you still feel confident in winning the team fight, so you pop your ultimate to slow their gameplay down. And if they decide to be a little bit too aggro, you can turn the fight on them even in a 4v5. So, yep. The ultimate wasn't too bad for what it was, right? Your teammates ended up sustaining the team fight, and now you're pretty even. Now you're going to look for somebody to pull if they're too aggressive. Like, for example, your Freya, nope, is fine. Gets back to a good spot. Put a pedal up for your Sigma. Bit of an unlucky one there. Looks like your Juno Hazu is above you, so you don't have to worry about those heals. Pull the Torb. Great pull. Good job. Very safe. Very, very good play. Your position is solid, by the way. You're definitely prioritizing getting yourself in good spots to be a harder kill. If you're doing that as a support, you're probably in a good spot, right? So they probably could have been more aggressive with the tree. That's fair, but I think what their reaction was the Sigma was kind of falling back a little bit. So my guess is that when the Sigma was getting low, it felt like a safer play to let the Sigma back up into it. So could they have been more aggressive with the tree? Absolutely. But I think I'm okay with the safe play. Like, it's not the worst ultimate either. So sometimes, like, if an ultimate's okay, I'm not going to try to get people out of the habit of only going for really good ultimates. Like, sometimes you're just going to have an okay ultimate. Sometimes you're going to have an ultimate that doesn't work. And I think sometimes it's okay to have, like, just an okay one. So, yeah. But yeah, that would have been a good option for an aggressive play. This is something to try to take into account as Lifeweaver. Sometimes you can make or break a whole team fight. I'm not even joking. Like, if you have a perfect pull, but that pull also requires bringing a player to a good spot, right? If you can be a really good anchor, like in a spot for your team, and then pull them back to safety in a spot that isn't going to get them killed right away, it can go really well. So I just want to make sure you prioritize yourself in a good spot at all times when you're playing Lifeweaver, because if you don't, there's kind of a chance that you pull them, but all it does is get you both killed anyway because they're able to follow up right away. There you go. I Does it just chat? No, do they fix the Sigma ult with Lifeweaver? With Tree? Or do they, in the pedal? I just don't know anymore if they fixed it or not. Before I kind of give any of that advice. I haven't really dealt with too many Lifeweavers with it. Yep. Rough ult there, but I know what you were going for, but I would have been a little bit more, like, up there and aggressive before that happened. Okay. So there's your pedal. Yep. Be careful. Okay. This is why I want you to be in proper positioning, because if you do this in a, I mean, even in a quick play game, standing in the middle of the open like that, that window you should have fallen over right away. So the point I'm making is, like, that's where you're going to want to, again, think about prioritizing your positioning to be able to save your teammates in that spot. And, like, would you pull your teammate in the middle of that ground? Probably not. Also, what is that Vendetta doing? Probably would be something I would do in a quick play game, so I get it. Trying to heal your teammates. Just to kind of give you an idea, this all kind of stemmed from when you were in that rough spot. If you were in a better spot right there, you can put your teammates to safety better. So I just want you to think about that next time you're playing at Gibraltar, is like being on high ground is totally okay because you can position your teammates. So good save there on your Torb. I don't know how they didn't kill your Torb, but everybody there, good job. Also, for anybody who plays Lifeweaver, Lifeweaver has very sneaky damage. Like, it can be, once you get that Thorns perk, like the burst one, it is so good on Lifeweaver for damage output. It's even good before it, but, like, you can get some really good value on Lifeweaver. They've done a good job of, like, the back and forth between heals and damage. Yeah, just a Sombra in the back line. Always fun, isn't it? See, in Quick Play, there's no hero ban, so you probably see Sombra a little bit more often in Quick Play. I already have a guess for a rank. I'll see if everybody else is aligned with me. Okay, I'm locking it in. All right, I have it locked in. So where I'm at right now, it's locked in. Are you trying to get... Hey, see? I told you! You can put your teammates on good... I love that. You can set your teammates up in good position. Like, Torb, come here. I love how you use your long cooldown just to pull the Torb. Now, obviously, I wouldn't suggest that normally, but it was pretty funny. Good tree. Good job. You kind of blocked in there, too. You got to get to your tree, though. So next time this happens, don't be afraid to run into the team to go to your own tree. I think you actually kind of put yourself at a little bit of a disadvantage right there by not going to your tree right away. Like, that is going to keep you alive for quite a bit. But if you fall behind because of the DPS passive, you'll never get healed back up fully. Obviously, swapping Kiriko to get back to the point as quick as you can. And looks like your team should pick up the quick play dub. So there you go. First of all, not a bad showing in your quick play game here, right? The next step here is I got to kind of guess where I think you're going to be after your placements. I kind of have a bit of an idea, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm going to go with, like, gold 2. It's also on console, so sometimes, like, the way that, like, the gameplay can be a little bit different. So I actually think, like, you're somewhere around gold 2, maybe gold 1, but I think that's kind of where I think you'll land with this, and I could be wrong. Could even be higher. I'm pretty confident with that one. So anyway, now we're on to the ranking. All right, so on Juno here, you're doing the right thing there. Nothing you can do about your teammate getting Junkrat trapped there. All right. Okay, so I'm looking at the team comps here. This is a bit important part. Okay, just a little bit of a note here when you're on Juno. Try not to spam your speed ring as much. Speed ring is a really good way to engage. It would be the equivalent of me kind of just using my speed boost on cooldown, and, like, you kind of want to save that for the right moments. So when you have to get through a choke here on King's Row, one of the best things you can do is do a surprise like Juno speed ring and just go really fast. A lot of the times players won't even be able to react to it in time, and you can do a really cool rotation. So, like, try not to waste your speed ring just to waste it, okay? Apparently this Junkrat loves that. Okay, I love that Junkrat has thrown the Junkrat trap into the same spot twice and gotten 2 kills. That's amazing. Okay, getting back to the point quickly. Not bad. Your team's here. Yeah, you should be good. If you want to, like, really play this safe, you could maybe, like, go up to the high ground behind you just so that if they go for the map, you'll be fine. But it looks like your Hanzo's 1v5 in them right now with no problems, so you should be good in this situation from what I can tell. Okay, so nice speed ring there from the team. Okay. Doing everything fine here. I would go for a right-click heal in a second just to be able to get your Reaper at the same time. Okay, you're fine then. I guess your teammate got the other heals. And then now you use right-click. Yeah, a little bit of... So the right-click usage there. When you had your Reaper low and the Zarya low, sometimes there, and that's... Just Junkrat's traps are amazing. It's okay to, like, use your heal there. Also, what a Hanzo Dragon. Also, I don't know how many times can I say also in a sentence? This bug has been like confusing me. So there's a bug recently, if anybody hasn't noticed, that the kill feed is actually flipped from like what the color scheme is. So every time I see that like a Hanzo get the kills, I'm like, damn, their Hanzo's popping off. And then I realize it's your Hanzo popping off. So good job going up on high. And again, this is the correct way. And I want to show people why. I've talked about it before, but remember, when you're on these high grounds like this, Chad, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most amazing like value that you're getting from just doing damage or healing. It's just to get people to look at you. Look at your Ana. Your Ana's in a good spot to heal your team, right? Solid positioning. So if you're up here and you kind of just like poke and peek from here, a lot of the time these players here are going to be distracted, which then this is what I talk about angles all the time. Look at your team now. You have a teammate over here. You're up here. Right? Ideally, you'd have somebody over here, but this is a really good setup because now when they retake, like when everybody runs up here, now everybody's in different spots. So they can't just directly look at the Zarya and the Reaper and go for kills. They have to worry about up here. They have to worry about here. If you have somebody set up over here, they have to worry about over here. Just remember that whenever you're like waiting for everybody to come back from second point, setting up no matter what the rank is can be really good here. And that's kind of what angles are, is like, it makes the other player have to turn their camera, and if they don't, they'll get punished for it. Too many people off angle now. I mean, that's 5v5 Overwatch, so you kind of have to, because like, if you all stand behind your tank, not every tank is a shield tank, right? So like, you pretty much have to stay away from your tank at times, depending on the comp, right? I would ult this to be a little bit more aggressive. So this is a situation where I think you should ult this, and the reason why you want to ult this is just to take advantage of the map control. I think you waited a little bit longer. Listen, here's my take. Good job killing the Junkrat trap there. One, be a little bit closer with your ultimate because that thing's slow. But two, don't be afraid to be proactive with your ult there. I think being proactive there wins the team fight guaranteed. I don't like taking it up for chance there. All right, backing away. Honestly, just a good pin by Ryan, and they win the team fight. Your Ana's probably hacked. I mean, the speed ring out is a good idea. Maybe your Ana isn't hacked. Nice. Good heals. Good job. I'm sorry, but what? Did the Hanzo fall off the map right there? Yep. That's a tire. That's a tire. Certainly was. Wow, right to the spawn doors. That got value. So against this there it is. So again, your speed rings definitely need some work here. You're not engaging anybody right here, right? Like all you're doing is getting your Zarya to here. What you would want to do is have your speed ring around here. And the reason why you want your speed ring around here is it gives you two options. One, if you want to be aggressive, you can go for the backline, get some free kills if they're out of position. Two, if this Reinhardt gets aggressive on your Zarya can now back up. But if you use the speed ring right here, this becomes a bit of a problem, right? Because now there's no speed ring. You're going to be on cooldown for a little bit. I just want you to be a little bit careful of that because it is a fairly long cooldown. And like that's how your teammate could die here if they don't have the help to be able to disengage those spots or engage in, right? If I'm a Zarya and you're like, hey, I have speed ring, go in, or like, hey, we have speed ring nano, let's go in. I love that type of play. So obviously your speed ring's up now, so it wasn't a big deal, but I want to get you in a good habit of those speed rings for like future reference, okay? Good speed ring there for the spot. You gave your Zarya an option, and that was a good play. So good job there on that one. Good job trying to kill the turret. Two options here. You can play it safe if you'd like. I like to play aggressive. I like a little bit more of an aggressive play style. I think being proactive is huge. So if you want, I want you to see what you have here with your Zarya. You have a fully charged Zarya. So you could, in theory, if you wanted to, be aggressive with your Juno ultimate. But also, the more I look at this, you don't really have the best timing for this because your Zarya is staying in AFK and cart. Because your Zarya isn't aggressive, I think you might have to use it more defensively, especially with the Bastion now, because Bastion's really good against Zarya. But for future reference, if you win a team fight pretty cleanly, don't be afraid to get up here ASAP and just kind of stuff them at the doors. What can this Bastion actually do? Vice versa, if you do the same thing here, what can this team over here do? So isolating one of the doorways and just being wary of this off angle can be really key. But again, I've been doing this thing now recently where I've been showing people the team fights before they happen. And I think it's been helpful, so I'm going to continue on with that. Pop your ultimate now. Pop it down. Yep, there it is. Speed ring. Out. Okay. Timing's okay. This is fine. Yes. Good ult. Try to kill heal your team. Honestly, Chad, I'm not upset with that. I think that was just a good window. Sometimes you make the correct play, the team just makes a better play. Everything there I was happy with. You popped your ultimate proactively. You unfortunately lost your Hanzo to a shot that wouldn't have changed your ult. You gave your Zarya an opportunity, and then you just got randomly killed through a window right away. Great speed ring. I mean, that's exactly what you're trying to do there is give your Zarya an option to disengage. You know what I just realized? Chat, have you seen the Juno use the ping system at all? Like that ping right there, I don't think is from the Juno. That's from the team. But I want to kind of get you in the mindset of using that ping system. Remember that BAP that was to your left? Your teammate ended up pinging the BAP after, but I can't tell. I don't think it's you activating it. I think your teammate's pinging. So I just want you to get used to the ping system sometimes. Just to kind of like, if you see a, what in the heck? You went flying. Just in case you see like a BAP like that on the flank, it's really important to give that information to your team. I'm okay with Lifeweaver on the defensive aspect of this. I think that's okay. So far, pretty solid. Pretty solid, I'd say. Getting some heals going. Pulled. Yep. Listen, I want to point out here because sometimes I think players that get pulled there don't realize like the thing. Just for tank players, if I ever get pulled by a Lifeweaver, unless I'm ulted, I generally think that they probably see more than I do. So a lot of the time, I'm not saying it's perfect. Listen, you're gonna get trolled by your Lifeweaver a lot of the time. But one thing I do want to point out is if I'm looking at people in front of me and I'm like, oh, I'm fine, but you see a BAP on the high ground that I don't see or a Hanzo on the right side angle, sometimes the Lifeweaver will pull and be like, okay, you know, that's going to be great. So, good combo, should be pretty clean. You're playing back. By the way, chat, I still am pretty confident with my rank guests. I'm still thinking gold plat in like this range here. Might even be upgraded to plat after watching this game, just from like what I'm seeing from both sides, but we'll see. Okay, there's your heal. Oh, nice pull. Where's your pedal at? I just want to see where you put your pedal. You know, I want to like go with some pedal theory here. The closer you put it at this, I think the easier it is for them. Yeah, see what I mean? You see why I'm a little bit concerned with that pedal? Try to put it like here, I'd say, or something. Look at this right here. See how they can like kind of peak this angle? Like the idea of having a pedal here is good. I think the location's a little bit rough because if they get any map control here, that pedal's just gone. But if you use it here, you can also maneuver to go up here a little bit easier. Also use it to go back here still, and then also to rotate this way. So just a little bit better pedal placement. I don't know if it's make or break or at all, but like sometimes it's all just about developing those good habits, regardless of what happens in this team fight. Sometimes this stuff adds up as time goes. Yeah, I would be wary of using the tree. Yep. If you were wondering, was that the correct play? I would say without a doubt, that was the correct play. You know, there's a world where this still can work. Okay, by the way, remember what I mentioned earlier about using the momentum off the pedal? You would have been out of here no problem and survived. So remember, practice that, put a pedal up, you know, use your jump key. I think it's you like hold your jump. It will kind of give you a little bit of a boost into the air and you'll get right to that high ground, no problem. You would clear that like if you did that way. So you try to use the momentum off the pedal to get your high ground control. Because this is a spot where I don't think you would have died there if you did that correctly. Okay, here we go. The heal. A bit of a pedal location for you if you need like a pedal in general. Don't be afraid to put a pedal around here. This is so that you can escape out to this high ground and use it as a rotation piece. You did the super jump there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a few times I've seen like you not use it, so I think it's just good to keep reminded on it. Honestly, that pedal was the right idea, so it was goofy looking, but that was a good idea. I've had that happen before where like I think I have a free kill on a frozen target and then the Lifeweaver pedals them up. Correct play on saving your Zarya there. You could have let the Drine maybe charge if you wanted to, but you don't know who else is there looking at your Zarya, so I think the pull is the safe and correct play when your Zarya is at charge, for sure. There's a world where like, say your Zarya doesn't have a lot of charge, I might try to debate the Reinhardt into charging my Zarya. If the Zarya does miraculously get rolled, you'll probably kill the Rein anyway and you don't lose the energy. It's a risk-reward play, but sometimes you can do that. It kind of baits the Rein into getting killed. Thankfully, your teammate got the kill anyway, so. But yeah, your team ended up playing this great. You played a solid Lifeweaver Juno. Yeah. A bit of a, you know, a bit of a pull there, but yeah, there's the dub. So a good game out of you there. That was very well played overall. I didn't have many like huge points I had to make. Obviously, I did make some points, but A lot of what I think you need to work on specifically is a lot of just like those like small things, like some of the habits that you need to just kind of like fix with like how you're playing the character. But overall, you had a pretty clean Lifeweaver in general. So now I'm gonna kind of guess the rank, and this is where I settled in on gold 2 initially, gold 2, gold 1. I'm gonna guess plat 5. I think that's a good in between. I think like you're in a lobby that is like gold and plat, but you also have like some really good things that I'm seeing. It could be higher in theory too, but I think like that's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm looking at what the comps are playing, how they're reacting to like team fights, where people are positioning, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. So I'm just gonna click this. Wow, chat, and they finished 4 and 6. The rank is gold 1. Gold 1 is the rank. Pretty spot on, right? Yeah, if I didn't second guess the guess, I would have been right there. Because I said gold 2 or gold 1 in the Gibraltar game, then I upgraded it to plat 5. That means you're right there. Not bad. So yeah, real talk. Like, I think sometimes there can be that like mindset of like, if I don't play a lot of ranked, I may not be able to go into ranked and play as well. But I felt like you played that just fine. I didn't really have like too many like super like, oh, you really got to fix this. It's a lot of like little things like, you know, remembering your ping system, putting your pedals in better spots, timing your ultimates better, things like that. Like, so I think overall you still have some stuff to work on, but that was good. But yeah, I would say work on all that stuff, and I think you'll climb if you continue to play ranked. And if not, hey, keep dominating as the quick play warrior. Whatever's most fun for you is what's going to matter, but you got this. You absolutely got this. And as we get to the end of the video here, we're always looking for feedback on this series. It just started. We're going to iterate a bit, so if you made it to the outro, give us some feedback. Let us know. We'll make some adjustments if we feel it's necessary, and we'll go from there. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. If you want to submit one, my Discord's where to do that, and hope you all have an amazing day/night.